Emma and Liam had been looking forward to this trip for months. Fresh air, the scent of pine, the rustle of leaves underfoot. The vast forests of the Pacific Northwest promised an escape from their monotonous office jobs. They left the city before dawn, their car loaded with camping gear and the enthusiasm of two people desperate for a break. The winding roads led them deeper into the heart of the wilderness, where towering evergreens blocked out the sun and the chatter of civilization faded into the whisper of the wind. By the time they reached the trailhead, the morning mist was lifting, unveiling a world untouched and beckoning. At the small ranger station, a wrinkled man in a faded uniform cautioned them. "Avoid the northern trails past mile marker 12, he warned, his eyes shadowed beneath a weathered hat. "There's an old campsite up there, best to steer clear." Emma and Liam exchanged amused glances. Tales of haunted woods were commonplace in these parts, spun to deter tourists from straying off the beaten path. With a dismissive nod, they thanked the ranger and set off, deliberately veering northward when the trail forked. The allure of seclusion was too enticing. A night alone under the stars, free from the clamor of crowded campsites, was exactly what they craved. As dusk settled, they found the abandoned clearing. Remnants of fire pits and decaying logs hinted at its history, but nature was reclaiming the space. They pitched their tent under a canopy of stars, the silence around them thick and profound. Over a modest dinner cooked on a portable stove, they laughed about the ranger's warnings, toasting to adventure with mugs of lukewarm tea. But as darkness enveloped the forest, the atmosphere shifted. The hoot of an owl echoed ominously, and the trees seemed to draw closer. Retiring for the night, they zipped up their tent, cocooning themselves against the chill. Sleep did not come easily. A faint scratching sound stirred Emma from the edge of slumber. She held her breath, listening. There it was again, a faint rustle, like fingers brushing against fabric. Liam stirred beside her. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. Before he could reply, a soft whisper seemed to circle the tent, unintelligible and fleeting. Shadows played against the nylon walls, shapes that didn't match the sway of branches. The scratching grew more insistent, coupled with a low murmur that set their nerves on edge. Hours passed with them huddled together, every sense on high alert as the unseen presence toyed with their sanity. The whispers grew louder, more urgent, until they felt suffocated by the relentless onslaught of sound. When the first light of dawn seeped through the tent fabric, the noises ceased abruptly. Gathering their courage, they unzipped the entrance, stepping out into a world transformed. A dense fog clung to the ground, obscuring everything beyond a few feet. The familiar landmarks, the crooked oak, the moss-covered boulder, were gone. In their place stood skeletal trees with gnarled branches clawing at the misty sky. The air was thick, heavy with the scent of decay. Panic set in as they realized the trail markers had vanished. "This can't be right," Liam muttered, his voice shaky. They scrambled to find any sign of the path, but the more they searched, the more alien the landscape became. It was as if they had been plucked from their world and dropped into another. Desperation drove them deeper into the fog, every direction a mirror of the last. Time lost meaning as the sun remained hidden behind a perpetual gloom. Emma clutched Liam's hand, her knuckles white. Whispers began to drift through the air again, now clearer, weaving words of despair and beckoning them further into the abyss. Shadows flickered at the edge of their vision, figures that vanished when confronted. Exhaustion took hold, but stopping felt more dangerous than pressing on. "We have to keep moving," Emma urged, though each step felt heavier than the last. The realization settled over them like a shroud. They were trapped. ensnared by the very woods they had sought to conquer. As the fog thickened, the whispers grew louder, converging into a cacophony that drowned out their frantic breaths. In the heart of the forest, they understood with chilling clarity, they were not alone, and escape was nothing more than a fading hope.